Shop on YouTube.
The local Lowe's. Poppy with me. Had to pick up some steel, 22 gauge, 24 by 24 pieces. 2 of those. Head back to the mod shop, big man. What's up, YouTube? Super Misfit checking in. We back inside the car. Today we picking up on part 3 of the Tr6060 install. Okay, first thing first, I had to make a few changes to the setup of the tunnel. So I went to Lowe's, got a few pieces of 24 by 24 inch pieces of sheet metal. So far I'm gonna use one. I'm about to let you guys check out what I got going and go back over it one more time. I keep looking down because my puppy, he down here tearing my foot up. But so basically the last tunnel, it would have functioned in theory. I have no doubt about that, but I'm trying to peek a little further down the line and think for as future scenarios and stuff like that. Clutches have to be changed sometimes. Different stuff has to happen. I'm constantly modifying the car, so I never know when I need to take the transmission out, and I'd hate to have to pull the whole engine and transmission just for the sake of getting the transmission out. So I had to go back to the drawing board, and that's when I came up with a cleaner way of installing a trans tunnel to where I have enough room to slide my transmission straight forward back and also lower the shifter in the scenario that I needed to move or drop the transmission. So we about to pick up from there, let you guys check it out, see what we got. Now this doesn't look nothing like what we had at first, I know. And basically these are just pieces of sheet metal. I put a 2x4 inside of here. I'll show you guys that in a second once I remove this piece right here. But basically it's a 2x4 in the middle. The 2x4 is acting as a spacer between the actual tunnel itself and the transmission, and it also helps me get the bend down the center how I need it to be. So that's where we at with it. Don't mind my shitty tacks, you know. I did lay a few dimes though. Yes, sir. But that's what it said now. So the tunnel pretty much mapped out. Now this is gonna be the trick part right here. So I'm gonna make it to where this whole little setup right here could bolt in and out of the car. So that way when it's time to drop the transmission, I have room, because with the old one, with the shifter stuck in one spot, if I lowered it and then dropped the cross member, it didn't go down low enough to clear the trans tunnel. So I'm finna make it to where now this whole piece back here is gonna be bolted in. Not with silk tappers though. I'm gonna use hex head bolts. You know, I'm gonna weld the nuts on the back side so that way I can just screw everything in, but it's gonna be bolted in place like so on both sides, to where this whole part right here come in and out. So if I ever have to drop the transmission or something like that, I can always lower this and have a whole lot of room to play with it for installing it, pulling it in and out the car and stuff like that. Right now I'm shaping the metal out to go right here. All this here gonna get welded together, and this here unbolt from there and from along here. And I'm also building a piece for the backside to come down on. Here I'm laying the seam sealer down. The automotive seam sealer, I got it from AutoZone. I'm laying that down. Once I'm done with this, I'm just gonna jump straight into fabricating the front part of the tunnel. You guys probably gonna miss that, but I'm gonna elaborate on that at the end of the video to show you guys exactly how I came up with a lot of this stuff. So stay tuned. Time to give you guys an update on the trans tunnel. Now this kind of rough, but I'm gonna shape all of this up in a minute or so. But Basically, it's in primer right now. I got a bunch of seam seal on it. That way it's airtight. You don't have to worry about much. I just made this piece of metal here. It goes all the way around. That's for our little door here. As you can see, the door got seam seal on it too. I had to weld it. So out of the original trans tunnel that I had, the only port I used was this right here. This came out of a 2012 SS Camaro. So I cut this port. I added these pieces of metal, put the little bends in it where it needed to be, made the little back port back here. I know it's not geometrical because the shifter sits closer towards the driver's side. So if you look from the back, this here is kind of off, but that's just so it could clamp all the way down where we need to clamp it. You know, I might have messed my prime up when I just did that, but as you can see, everything lines up exactly where I needed to line up. This is gonna be black in a minute, but that's pretty much how my little trans tunnel works. As for the primer, all I used was some rattle can primer, but all my interior in the car. So what I did was I sprayed it in this bottle right here, got me a paintbrush and brushed it on, did me 2 coats. I'm waiting on it to dry. Once it dry, I'm gonna scuff everything up real good and repeat the process with some black paint. And from there, I'm gonna put some more insulation on. So we're gonna let that dry for a second. Then I'm gonna come back, give me another water bottle, cut the top off, spray the paint in, brush it on, and then let that dry. Then I'm gonna come over there with my insulation. Save you guys the trouble of having to watch me paint all of this, but this where we at with it right now. Got it painted in black, pretty much the same technique I used to get the prime on there. Got it painted. This paint been sitting for a while. See, I painted all over the seam sealing and stuff like that. That seam sealing then got pretty hard over the last few days that I've been letting it dry. But now I'm finna come over this with the rock matte insulation, and you won't even be able to tell what none of that look like. So get to work on that now. This is the rock matte insulation. This is what I got all under the car and stuff like that. Previously, this stuff that's in here is probably about 2 or 3 years old. It made a night and day difference when I did install it. Still holding on pretty strong, but the price went up, so it got to be a good product. When I first started buying this stuff, you could get like 50 square feet for around maybe about 80 bucks. Now 50 square feet, it costs you about 120 bucks. You could get this stuff off of eBay. I'm not sponsored by these guys or nothing like that. I'm not trying to push no product, but this is the product that I use. It worked pretty well for me. So hopefully you guys looking for some sound deadening insulation, it'll work out pretty good for you. Now cutting this stuff, it's best to use a razor when you cut it. It's not really no big area, just a hump, so I'm gonna pretty much eyeball what I need to cut out. I'm gonna probably cut right around in this area right here and roll it across there, and 2 sheets like that should pretty much cover up that tunnel where I need to cover it up at. Find me a razor, I'm finna make the cut and apply this, and then we pick up from there. Still got a trim that. I'm gonna knock this down and prettify it some. That's the right word to use. But went ahead and inserted these threaded rivets. See, this our hardware that we're gonna use to bolt everything down. So basically, this is what we're gonna have going on. This goes on that like such. We go. All of the holes line up perfectly. From there, just put our little hardware in place and go all the way around, bolting it down in place. We got our rock matte installed. This trans tunnel looks huge, man, real freaking big. But I built it big just like this because you never know. Like I say, GM, they making these LT4s with the 10 speeds. I'm not saying I am, I'm not saying I'm not, but it dang sure would be nice to have one of those. So I got more than enough room for that. As you can see, our little trap door came out pretty good. I'm not gonna put no insulation on that, but We got everything lined up, buttoned up. What's up? What's up? So first thing first, let me tell you guys, I appreciate everybody been subscribing, everybody been tuned in. I've been moving kind of slow lately. I've been having a lot of other stuff going on, so I haven't really just had the time to zone in and keep the videos coming, but I'm almost about to where I can get back on track, keep the videos coming every week. And if you plan on doing a Tr6060 install or any other kind of transmission, they do have tunnels for reasonable prices. I just seen one on Summit for maybe about 80 or 90 bucks. Might even been a little cheaper than that. Anywhere from 70 to 90 bucks, somewhere in that little category there. You might can find you a trans tunnel that's already pretty much in the shape that you need, but you will still have to modify it and things like that. I went out my way and made me one from scratch, mainly due to the fact that when I look back at this car, when it's all said and done, I want to be able to say, well, you know, I built this, I built that. I tried to stay out the stores. I tapped into stuff that I didn't even know I had. That was my first time building a transmission tunnel, and to say it was my first time, I feel like I done okay. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you guys can do better. I'm more than sure of that. I don't doubt that, but I say the goal for this car is built, not bought. That's the whole goal. A lot of stuff I gotta buy, for example, like the TMI door panels. I'm not an upholstery guy at all, by no means, but I tried anything that I feel like I possibly can do myself, I try to do. It's a whole lot easier to try it yourself and mess it up and pay somebody. That's my way of thinking anyway. I try myself 2 or 3 times. If I get overwhelmed, I just pay somebody to come in and do it, but that's never my first route to solve any problems with this car. But now that we got the transmission in there, I can get back to the Detroit Speed mini tub installation. And also I'm gonna build my console. Like I said, I'm not a upholstery guy. For as a console, I could pretty much build it, but I would have to pay somebody else to wrap it. So I got a design in my head on that. Stay tuned for that. I can't make no promises on when that video will be surfacing, but just stay tuned because it's on the way. What else I got coming for you guys? Oh, I got a big surprise too. It's under the hood. I'm gonna wait till I gather a few more parts, let you guys see that. If you follow me on Instagram, you already know what I got going on under the hood. And if you're not following me and you want to know, be sure to get on Instagram, follow me, supermisfit_Camaro. I'll have my Instagram down below. But that just about wraps up the Tr6060 install. The next video I probably do on that is installing the clutch reservoir, clutch master cylinder, the clutch reservoir. Basically installing the clutch reservoir, and what else I got coming with that, man? Probably the pedals and different stuff with the clutch, adjusting the clutch and stuff like that. But appreciate you guys for the support. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Super Misfit, check it out.